Welcome to Automotive Show KG Canadian Enthusiast. Before start the show, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. The more likes I get, the more I feel like I'm doing justice. So now let's get started. Today on the KG Canadian Enthusiast, today we are going to cover so many vehicles from different price ranges, vehicles costing $1 million to little less $20,000+. So, and sad stories for enthusiasts, which is important in equally. So now let's get started, shall we? So let's start with the sad news first. Okay, I want to have a good ending. Honda has confirmed that after 36 years, the Honda legend comes to end. Honda's executive car, which competed against rivals like the E-Class, the Mercedes-Benz CLS, and the Audi A6, the BMW 5 Series. It's ending its 36-year production run. Its writing though was on the wall since the Acura RLX was discontinued 2019-2020 time period. So writing was on the wall. But end of the day, this proves that luxury sedans are still in business, but manufacturers are making some crucial mistakes as the legend goes away. Let's hope there would be a replacement for the Honda Legend. And if there's anyone who ever owned a Honda Legend, please tell your experience with your Honda Legend on the comment section. Please, because me, I'm a personal fan. So moving on from the Honda Legend, another vehicle that has to be talked about and is inevitable is the BMW i3. The BMW i3 will most likely in production next year in 2022 and in the US by end of this year most likely. Why? Because this BMW i3 was a very awkward boy to begin with. It was rather ugly. It wasn't very fast. If you want a hybrid, buy a Prius. It was simple. It was just I have no feelings towards this vehicle. I personally hate it. And I have often have a doubt, why would you buy this when you can buy a 1 Series or even currently 2 Series Grand Coupe? I really don't know why. So the death of the i3 is coming. Its replacement is most likely EV, and the i3 is going to be confusing when there's electric 3 Series comes out. So I guess it's a good decision either way. And of course from that, let's move on to another upcoming launch, which is Mercedes have confirmed that the E-Class and C-Class coupe and convertibles will be replaced in 2022 by a new nameplate named CLE, which is technically easy to say what it's replacing. Most likely based on the C-Class architecture than the E-Class architecture, but it replaces both of them. So I'm looking forward to it. My expectation, it's going to be good. More two-door vehicles, Mercedes. Please do that more, because the world needs more two-door vehicles to the ultra-rich and the normal consumers. I would love that actually. So moving on from that note, let's talk about some historical moments. Before historical moments, the Suzuki Jimny now. The Suzuki Jimny, if you thought the Jimny was a bit expensive for you, don't worry. There's now an even cheaper Suzuki Jimny. If you are living in Asia or anywhere else, this is called the Suzuki Jimny Lite. It's much less equipped. There's less equipment as standard, but you don't buy this equipment in some parts of the world. You buy it for durability, reliability, its reputation, its prestige of off-road capabilities. Prices for this model will be $14,000, and it's way less than the $20,000 plus price tag for the normal Suzuki Jimny. So that's fairly cheap. But I recommend this. If you're buying a Jimny, just buy the best one. Why would you go for $40,000? But if you do want a back to basics, a luxury SUV, fine by me. $40,000, pretty good. Now moving on from that now iconic moment. Ferrari have introduced a V6 Ferrari for the first time since the Dino. Yes, it's the Ferrari 296 GTB. Now some specifications. Two-door coupe, 2 seats, rear-wheel drive, 8-speed TCT, powered by a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 and a hybrid setup, combined output 819 horsepower. This is way more than the McLaren Arthur. Top speed 205 miles per hour, 0 to 60 less than 3 seconds, which is very quick. Now for some people, it's a little bit too fast, but for me, I don't care. It's a Ferrari. I want extreme performance. I want extreme comfort. That's why I love this Ferrari. Simple as that. And that's the case. Now, some history lesson. The Ferrari Dino came with many engines throughout the time, but the Dino was the first Ferrari to have a 6-cylinder. The Ferrari Dino did not have the Ferrari badge until the mid-70s actually. Prior to that, it was called just the Dino. So you can probably guess Enzo hesitated to put a Ferrari badge on a V6, but Enzo, I guess it has happened now, but it's fine by me. Now price tag will be around $300,000 in my guess, most likely. I could be wrong, you think, but I keep saying a higher price tag is because of optional extras that you might end up putting on the vehicle. That's why I keep saying a higher price tag. So $300,000 for the Ferrari 296 GTB. I'm looking forward for it. And moving on from that, the Porsche 911 lineup. The Porsche 911 lineup is a lineup that can be everything for everyone. If you want a track day monster and a bit of comfort, a GT3 or a new GT3 Touring will do the job for you. Makes sense, right? If you want a 911 that focuses heavily on grand touring, cross continents in lap of luxury, well, you can have a Carrera or a 4S or a Turbo or a Turbo S. But now there's a new 911 for that. It's the 911 GTS. The GTS is positioned above the 4S but below the GT3. So I would expect in a certain term. Now performance wise, 3-liter twin turbo, a flat 6 with 473 horsepower and 190 plus mile/hour top speed. That's brilliant. Because I would be briefly honest though, every 911 is comfortable and luxurious. In fact, let me give it this way. Out of 100%, a Porsche 911 focuses 60% on creature comforts and luxury standards and practicality. 40% on performance. That's my mathematical explanation of the Porsche 911. Honestly, because 60-40 makes sense. Because the 60% of the people use this thing every single day. 40% is the traditional 911 values that's been preserved. So typically 911 prices, I would rather guess, should start around £100,000, go all the way up to 200. But this particular model could be around 130, £140,000. It could be cheaper than a GT3 or GT Touring, but you get my point on that note on the 911. So one more thing, the GT3 Touring is a GT3, but even more comfort and luxury oriented. So that's something I want to tell you actually. So I thought you should know. So from that, let's talk about the VW Polo. Now we talked about the facelifted Polo. This is the Polo facelifted Polo GTI, which is its luxury. It's hot hatchback version, which comes with the same 2-liter TSI with 204 horsepower. And of course, unsurprisingly, price tag will be £28,000, of course. And styling wise, it's not much different, the Polo GTI from the previous Polo GTI, but it's now more comfortable and better. So I think it's going to be pretty badass, if I would be honest. Now let's talk about Aston Martin. Yes, the Aston Martin Volker. Now I could be pronouncing this name wrong. Please, I'm going to butcher this name. So please forgive me. Okay, please forgive me on this. This hypercar is a $3 million hypercar. Yeah, I know, I went from many price tags now to $3 million. I think I have something for everyone after all, don't you think? So, $3 million hypercar with 1600 with 1160 horsepower and a 250 mile top speed, but there's a new track version that can be only used on the track. Yes, I'm not joking. It's legally and it's not street legal. It's the AMR Pro version. Now they haven't announced prices. I would guess it would cost around £3.5 million pounds or dollars, I would guess, because it's a more track day version. It's exclusive and it loses its hybrid drivetrain as well. I thought you should know about that. So something to ponder on that. Aston Martin, I will be doing something special on that vehicle. Now moving on from that, quickly let's talk about the Geely. I'm going to call it Geely. The Geely Icon is a subcompact SUV from Geely that looks like an EV, but it's not. It's a plug-in hybrid and non-hybrid subcompact SUV. 5 SUV, 5 seats, 7-speed TCT, 4-wheel drive, etc. 1.5 to 3-cylinder, 175 horsepower, or a 1.5-liter mild hybrid with 188 horsepower. Price tag is $20,000 to $25,000. So it's very well priced. And of course, not least but not last, there is a new Porsche Cayenne model named the Porsche Cayenne Coupe Turbo GT. This thing makes 631 horsepower from a 4-liter twin-turbo V8, which is less than the Turbo SE hybrid, top speed, electronically limited, 186 miles per hour. The price for this would be around £143,000. I thought you should know. Of course, that's no surprising, of course. Again, what of a surprise within a Carrera? Of course, the rest of the Cayman lineup includes the Cayman lineup. You got the Turbo, you got the GTS, the E-Hybrid, and the Turbo SE Hybrid. So yeah, prices, the normal starts from 90,000, goes all the 150,000, goes around to 140 plus. So I thought you should know that. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for joining me on the show.